It's time for Sports Talk Plus.
We're back. We're back.
Ed Young, I'm Matt Hatfield. We gave you all a week vacation, but we're here to talk some NFL, college football, and Major League Baseball with you. And let's begin with baseball. It's Game 7 tonight. Yankees, Astros in Houston.
Yankees.
Who's going to win? I say
Yankees.
Astros.
Yankees.
Astros.
Baseball talk. We just simply say Yankees. Come on. Everybody wants to see the Yankees-Dodgers World Series. It's tailor-made. Hasn't happened in a while. Remember way back in the days before you or I were even around when it was the Brooklyn Dodgers against the New York Yankees. Now it's the LA Dodgers against the New York Yankees. Gotta have. Nobody wants to see the Dodgers and Astros in a World Series.
I do.
The ratings will be down.
I do. Who cares about ratings? Give me an Astros team that's got Jose Altuve, who should be the LMVP.
He's good.
Yeah, he is very good. George Springer's going to be the X factor tonight, by the way. You remember I said this at
yeah, Springer's got spring in the step. I like it.
Yeah, and no relation to Jerry, but I'm worried about this pitching matchup. CC Sabathia versus Charlie Morton. Very worried about that matchup. The Astros went along with Verlander, but they're going to need him to come out of the pen like Randy Johnson or Madison Bumgarner to get them out of this. Or could they go Dallas Keuchel out of the pen? And that could be the real surprise move. I don't trust that Astros bullpen. They're going to need their offense to hit CC early. CC's been pretty good in a big game. He's definitely deserving of a new contract. I think he's earned his money there in New York after a nice career with the Indians. I think the Astros are going to sweat this one out tonight. I think it's going to be very, very tight, and I would worry if it gets to the bullpens, and the bullpens have to determine it because the Yankees, to me, have the edge in the bullpen, even with your man, Mr. Chapman, who is sometimes a little spotty.
The Yankees got to score often and early and often and keep holding that Houston offensive bat works down.
Well, everybody says you got to score early and often. That's
you can score early, but maybe not often, or you score often, but not early.
Well, Altuve's hitting .333 the last 5 years off Sabathia regular season, but nobody with more than one homer off him. So I have a hard time seeing Houston with the power off him. Whereas the last 5 years regular season against Morton, Castro's got 3 homers. Frazier's got a couple. Well, you know what Judge has done in this series. He's dangerous.
He's going to hit out or he's going to strike out.
Brett Gardner's done pretty well. And then Didi Gregorius has been the clutch guy for the Yankees that I'd be worried about. So I would say Springer's going to swing it for the Astros if they win it on offense. Maybe watch for Keuchel to come out of the pen because I just don't trust some of those relievers like Peacock and others to have to get a big out in the 8th or 9th inning. And I'd watch out for Didi Gregorius for the Yankees. He could be the X factor. Either way, and I'm not a Dodgers guy at all because they eliminated my Diamondbacks. They're playing so well. The pitching's been terrific with Kershaw and Darvish and that crew. I think the Dodgers win the World Series. It could be 5 or 6 against either team. Their bench is good. When you got guys like Chase Utley coming off the bench, when you got some professional hitters, some all-star guys coming off the bench, it's their time. They've gotten rid of that swoon, and I think they're going to be tough to beat in a playoff series. And their bullpen's been solid, too. Their bullpen's not been bad either.
Yeah, you got Bellinger's had a heck of a year with him.
Great.
Chris Taylor, native
Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach.
Out of Cox High School. He's
really
been
playing well for them.
He's been a guy that's been a real surprise for them. And, they've reworked a little bit of his swing and a couple other guys on that team. I just don't see the Yankees or the Astros beating them. And you know what? It could really affect the Astros pitching if they have to use Keuchel or Verlander.
Right.
So it's going to be a hard series for either one of these winners of the ALCS to win against the Dodgers in the World Series. Although the Yankee fans probably feel very confident if they win a Game 7 in Houston and a Game 5 in Cleveland, coming from behind in both series, that they can beat the Dodgers.
It's that idea of team of destiny because there's no way I thought they'd beat Cleveland twice, and then when they were down to Houston 2-0, that they would come back and get 3 wins, and of course lost last night. So. You got to play them on the fields. You can talk all you want about on newspaper, whatever, but you got to go out there in the fields and do it.
Well, they did what a great team is supposed to do in terms of the Dodgers when they beat the Cubs 11-1, because that could have been. Now people talk about the Boston comeback that year against the Yankees in 2004. Could it be the Cubs win 2? They go to L.A. They put that game away early. That game went to bed 3rd inning. It was lights out Chicago. That toddling town not repeating and. I think that's what the great teams are supposed to do. They end up putting that away. And the other guy besides Taylor, I couldn't think of his name for a second, was Justin Turner. He was at the Orioles and the Mets for a while. He's the guy that he's changed up his swing, and now he is like Mr. Clutch in the playoffs now. He's like this year's Daniel Murphy or this year's Shane Victorino, he's been one of those guys that just comes out of nowhere, and he's been swinging the bat incredibly. So I think the Dodgers win either way. We move to, we'll sprinkle a little NBA. NBA just started. You're a big NBA guy.
Yep, started
A lot of
past
talk
Wednesday.
on the OKC, the new big three with Carmelo and Russell Westbrook and Paul George. And then Houston trying to work that dynamic with Chris Paul now. The Cavs made that trade with Kyrie Irving going to Boston. Isaiah Thomas coming to them. He's dinged up. Gordon Hayward had that gruesome injury.
Oh, boy, that was bad.
He made you so squeamish the night that you were going to throw up your nachos.
Yeah, I couldn't watch that. I was ashamed.
But is it Cleveland, Golden State, that simple again? And is there a team, either conference, a surprise team? A lot of people love Denver. Minnesota's a trendy pick in the West.
I watched Minnesota the other night. I like them, but I would say very safe to say Golden State, Cleveland in the finals.
And Washington and Toronto are expected to be really good again, but they're not really a surprise team to me. So who's the Sixers are a trendy surprise team, all the young talent they have.
They're very young.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, they're young.
Joel Embiid and them.
And they're going from non-playoff status to trying to get into playoff. But I do like that team. I do like the Sixers an awful lot.
Charles Barkley said the Clippers are going to make the Western Conference Finals. Did you see that? I was a little surprised by that. I can't see that happening.
Charles, every once in a while, he needs his medicine because he'll make those kind of statements.
But, or call Kenny Smith's sister RuPaul. I know you saw that too. So, no.
I ain't going there.
That was classic. That was classic. But I think Houston's not going to be as good as people think. I think it's an OKC Golden State Western Final. And I do like Minnesota as a surprise team. I think they finally get up to like that 4 or 5 line, make the playoffs, and have a very big year. We'll see. I gave you a team that could surprise in the East, not doing a whole lot of damage. And you might think I'm off my medicine, which you probably do from time to time.
You're off your rocker, I know that.
Here's a team that's going to, I think, surprise a lot of people. People like Milwaukee with the Greek Freak, who could be in the MVP hunt.
Right after a couple games, I think he is.
Watch out for the Orlando Magic. There you go.
That's
There's
amazing.
the 7-8 seed.
Nobody's mentioned them yet.
Nobody has. Keep an eye on them. They could be a team that goes 35-47 against the number 7 or 8 seed in the terrible Eastern Conference by the end of the year. But I think the East Final is going to end up being Cleveland and Washington now. I don't think Boston will get there.
I like Washington. I think they're matured enough to deserve that rep right now. I think they can get there.
Even though Bradley Beal snubbed us and didn't come on our radio show, but we'll forgive him. We'll forgive him. Just make sure if you see us again and we ask you to come on, that you come on next time. Right. Otherwise, we'll do the little penny experiment where we get rid of the little penny doll and, bye-bye, bye-bye.
One piece at a time.
We get a little
Or we rip them as they do in the media world.
NFL and college football this week. We got to talk about the Raiders. They finally got off the schneid.
Raiders.
Your Raiders. That was the game of the year. They had to win it 4 times. Derek Carr showed some guts, showed some moxie. Amari Cooper finally caught a ball. And thank goodness my fantasy team is doing great now. Doing great. And I had Alex Smith actually even start over Derek Carr, who I just picked up now. So I got 2 quarterbacks. The thing that got me in this game was both defenses didn't do really a thing to stop the other, but it was great to watch. It was fantastic.
A lot of scoring, which I want to see. And, you like to see your team, my Raiders, stop people, but as long as we can, we got to outscore people. That's the key.
Veteran running backs, when you get to, we're not going to go through every game because we don't have much time to do so, and we don't need to. When you get to like 32, they say that you're an old running back. Adrian Peterson's 32. He went to the Cardinals, got a new little zest for life, a little vigor. He's back in the swing of things, doing well as the Cardinals are going to try to get to the playoffs with the beanie man leading them and the beanie hat Bruce Arians lead them with Larry Fitzgerald and the crew, despite Carson Palmer's in at play from time to time. But Marshawn Lynch is another guy that's he's gone old. What in the world happened the other night? They got to cut ties with him, right? It's time to go.
No. I like Marshawn Lynch. He made a dumb decision. He come flying off the bench, ran out on the field, pushed the referee out of the way to try to get.
Can't do that.
I want to kiss the guy. You just. What were you thinking on the
speeds
sprint?
Off, goes out to the freeway. I'm gone.
Yeah,
get out of here. That's what
Marshawn Lynch is a different character. There's no question.
But sometimes a guy needs a change of scenery. It doesn't fit that. Is it a case where he doesn't fit Oakland? I mean, he looks and acts and everything that says he's a Raider.
He's a Raider.
But does he
he's from Oakland?
Does he really fit that style of offense? Is it a lot like Peterson with the Saints? Does he need to go somewhere else?
No.
Go back to Seattle, maybe?
No,
where he's loved and wanted and was.
I think he fits right in. I think the Raiders like him.
But he's not producing.
Well. That's true.
He's pushing referees. You can't do that.
Excuse me. You can't have the fact you're not producing.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, you got to be able to do it. But, I always looked at Marshawn Lynch as a guy that going to get you that tough 3, maybe 4 yards. He's not breaking a 40-yard.
No.
It's just not him. So when they signed him, I thought maybe, as long as he's not the featured back, the guy, he'll be okay. But right now, the running game is not that, I don't think Raiders' running game's that good.
Aaron Rodgers is probably out for the year now.
Another
Give me
bad.
your NFC and AFC favorites. I think it's as wide open as the league's ever been. KC's lost 2 in a row. They were the last unbeaten team. I don't think New England's the favorite. I don't think Atlanta's the favorite. They both play each other. Take the Falcons. It's the guarantee of the week. If I'm wrong, I'll eat crow on this video show. But
Get ready to eat crow because I think the Patriots are going to beat them.
NFC, AFC favorite. Is it like Philadelphia right now in the NFC? Is it...
I'm going.
This is a year where a wild card team's going to go 9-7 and get to the Super Bowl.
Get to the Super Bowl.
It might be your Raiders
Let's
if they
go
keep
Raiders.
it going.
Yeah, because
You're both
3-4.
3-4, but
Wow.
you go to 2-5, you could be done. Pittsburgh gets the big win, but could they turn around and lose somebody shouldn't? That they have a tendency to do that from time to time.
I'm going to stick favorite in AFC. I'm sticking with Patriots. I don't like them,
No way.
but I'm going to stay with
No,
Patriots.
have you watched that defense?
I just.
Matt Ryan is going to shred that defense to pieces. Mises to pieces.
We're going to remains to be seen.
It remains to be seen. And if Julio Jones is healthy, they can't cover him if he's healthy.
NFC.
That's even more wide open.
Yeah.
There's like 12. There's more teams in the mix in the NFC than the AFC, but that's even more up in the air now. Could it be Carolina with Cam Newton, all his shenanigans? Although Luke Kuechly's out, their defensive stud.
Yeah, he's
I
part of
really
that
don't
team.
know who the team is to be.
Wow.
I mean, you could see like Dallas get in and make a run.
Well, that's if they keep Ezekiel Elliott out there because
Well, that's why he needs to serve the suspension. See, this is where all the Cowboys fans, you can't talk common sense to them. Let him serve the suspension now so it does not bite you later. They're like, he didn't do anything wrong. No, first of all, he did do something wrong. Secondly, get it out of the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. Because it's a distraction. And then secondly, it's going to bite you for the playoff games, and then you're going to be missing them, and then you're going to be whining even more than you whine now. So just serve the suspension. Move on. Brady had to do it. Zeke's going to do it. And Brady didn't even beat anybody. He just deflated football. So...
Allegedly deflated football.
He did. Don't defend him. AFC. Oh, here you go. Here's Super Bowl right here. Here you go. Jacksonville, Philly. There you go. There's your Super Bowl, baby.
Who do we pick beginning of the year? I think
We had Oakland and Green Bay. I had Oakland
and Green Bay. Okay.
and one of us had Atlanta. And Atlanta that can't get out of their own way now. Now, if they beat the Patriots suddenly, they could be my pick again. Seattle, I don't trust. I mean,
yeah, it's when you start looking at it that way, put your finger on a team. It's tough. If Rodgers when he got hurt, we'd probably be saying Green Bay.
College football, as we close up here, 2 big games: Michigan, Penn State, and USC, Notre Dame. You're going Notre Dame and Penn State.
Tradition.
I'm going SC and Penn State. Tell you what, Notre Dame's run the ball well, but this is the game where Sam Darnold, everybody's watching, America's tuned in. It's going to be going Oppo, Game 7 of ALCS, Yankees and Astros, but Darnold's going to lead them down the field, game-winning drive. And I want to see Brian Kelly get mad at the media again and start screaming and hollering and blame everybody else for why he can't get a big win in a big spot. This is your chance, Brian Kelly, to prove me wrong and to shut me up for messing up against Georgia when I picked you and you couldn't get it done against a freshman quarterback. Now you're playing the almighty Sam Darnold. Put your money where your mouth is and get it done, Brian Kelly.
Well, it's a good commentary on Mr. Kelly.
Yeah.
I think the game might go from the Notre Dame Southern Cal games of yore, last long time ago.
Your or lore? Or your lore?
Your lore.
Okay.
I think it's the idea that it's going to be a bomb in the last play of the game, a Hail Mary to get somebody to win it. I see that happening in this game.
And Michigan, Penn State will not have your or lore. It might end up being a bore, although I think next week's Penn State-Ohio State game will be very juicy. We talked with Jalen Holmes on a radio show. You can hear that on ESPNRadio941.com, the SoundCloud page. He's a Lake Taylor product out of Norfolk. Ohio State's starting to creep back up in there with all these top 10 teams losing. Watch out for the Buckeyes next week. And another team to watch out for, though, they got the running back Mark Walton out, is I cautioned this a couple weeks ago to you, Miami Hurricanes. Watch out. We could have Miami Notre Dame in a couple weeks have huge impact, and that was a great game back in the day. Catholics versus convicts.
They've had some big time ball games too, so that would be wild to see that opportunity come up.
Listen to us every Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon on ESPN Radio 94.1. High school
banner.
sports talk presented by VirginiaPreps.com. But we talk a lot of sports, not just
Number 1 rated sports talk show on Saturdays in the state of VA.
And we've been getting inquiries about sponsorship of the show. You better get in here and be the first, because when you're the first, you're not the last. And then we remember who's first. So your chance, hit us up, hatfieldsports@gmail.com. Comment on the video show. Send us a note because your company, your business could be the first to sponsor this show before we go globally, worldwide, nationwide.
And we're going, so do something now.
That's right. We'll see you again sometime soon, closer to Halloween. Enjoy it, folks.